Hello, welcome back to JOSKA-SKA-SKA. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jim.
And this is the finale of Alternative.
So we've currently watched all of the Fully Cooley that exists. We watched
currently exists
because we know there's at least 2 more series
Grunge and Shoegaze, that
have been announced. But yeah,
this is our Fully Cooley discussion recap podcast, episodes 5 and 6 of Alternative. So yeah, here we are. We finally made it, man, and I'm confused.
Yeah, it feels like they really didn't know what to do with the ending. So just before we talk about the ending and proper, to me it feels like what we've kind of been saying, where it's like it doesn't feel like it was designed to be a Fully Cooley show, and then they need to cram in a bunch of Fully Cooley stuff, but it just doesn't have anywhere to land. So
yeah, it doesn't really work. And I also feel like there should maybe been more. If the Slice Life could just had more episodes, and then it could have because these last 2 episodes are kind of a 2-parter, but it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, especially the last episode, we were like, "What the fuck?" The beginning of the last episode, I was like, "Did I miss? Did I watch the first 5 wrong episodes?"
I'm like, Jim, this is the last episode of the show. There's nothing either one of us has seen.
All right, so I'm curious to see what your interpretation of the ending is, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
So yeah, episode 5 is called "Shake It Off."
The Taylor Swift reference.
Yeah, Taylor Swift song. It came out probably before this.
Probably did.
I mean, this aired in October of 2018.
I remember that being a song in 2016.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
If not earlier, I'll look it up.
But yeah, so we start out with a flashback of little Kana, walking to school.
2016.
Okay, you're right.
Wait,
good job.
This is Reese Witherspoon.
What do you mean? What?
This is Nick Kroll and Reese Witherspoon.
The movie?
Oh, it must have been from Sing. Okay, no, this is 2014, the real song.
Okay.
When I said "Shake It Off," the fucking pig from that Sing movie show, and that, yeah, so the Nick Kroll song,
the
"Shake
Kroll
It Off"
version.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the movie's all just covers. So, but yeah, so we have little Kana in a flashback. No, all the girls are ignoring her, but she gets greeted by pets, and that's basically saying, "Okay." Jim's like, "Oh yeah, we're finally getting pets episodes." And then we're just like, "Fuck."
Pets is not so okay. The interesting thing about Pets is that she's not supposed to be a character. That's kind of the whole point of having her, is that you're supposed to not notice her is kind of the point.
Yeah.
Because that's Kana's whole relationship with her. But the problem with me was we're analyzing the show, you and I, and we're thinking, all right, every character's going to get an episode.
That's how it's going. And then it starts out okay, this is her episode, and then she's not in for half of it.
And so the whole time I was focusing on this character, what is her I kept calling her Phone Girl, because that's literally the only feature that she had that was besides having the little ribbon hair clip. But yeah, so
it's important.
It's kind of I'm kind of torn on this. I think it's interesting to do this with a character, but there was no build up.
Yes.
Which is the whole point is that there should have been build up, but there was no build up. So I would say that it doesn't quite work.
It really doesn't. There's no tease or even if they did the thing of she was I was always annoyed by you in the flashback of the past moment. If they cut to her and maybe seeing her glare over or not being happy with that, but they didn't have any of that.
Yeah, she was just always there. She was always in every scene. I don't know.
And but yeah, the global warming is taking effect. They're spending time at the pool.
So I do want to say another very interesting idea is instead of the irons actually physically crushing and flattening out the planet, I thought it was kind of interesting that they were using steam to basically cause global warming, which would in turn destroy humanity
and then flatten the Earth.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once they started actually doing it, I was like, okay, well, the metaphor is gone now. It's just they're just doing that.
What are you gonna do? Flatten the Earth? No, worse. It'll call it global warming, and then it'll destroy the Earth.
And then they'll flatten the Earth. So I thought that was kind of an interesting idea that they ended up just kind of not really even doing anything with. It just is hot now. Everything's just really hot. It's so hot that everyone just closes everything.
Yeah. So they basically are playing at the pool. Everybody's there. Haru's there for some reason, because of course she is.
She has a big epic moment with the volleyball for some fucking reason.
Sure. I said the prime minister is leaving the Earth, and that's basically the gist of everything. And then,
well, what happens in this scene is Haruko like hits the big volleyball and it's gonna hit Pets, the phone girl, the mysterious fourth character,
there.
but she's mysteriously gone in the blink of an eye, and no one cares except Kana.
She was never there.
Yeah, except she was.
No one knows who she was. She was a figment of her imagination.
So yeah, she just vanishes, and then all the girls start talking about her.
That her parents are actually rich and like part of the 1%, and that she's gonna be going off to Mars in the escape method.
And then Kana's like, "Wait, how did I not know that? She's been my friend since we were little."
But I never did meet her parents or never talked to her about that because I never asked or cared about it, I guess, or talked to any other people.
I think this is like kind of believable because I remember growing up and like not knowing about people's families or like. Sometimes you just don't go over your friend's house. That's the thing. Like, like you like. I know my personal experience is like, oh, we have like the guy's house we go to, or we always go to like one house.
Yeah.
So
like, I never want, like, you know, I can see some people don't want to talk about their family. I never really want to talk about my family too much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
but it's like it's weird that everyone treats it as like, oh, Kana, you should have known that. Like, oh, everybody knows this except you, Kana.
Japan, everybody's a lot very private. I feel more so than here. Everybody's a lot more, you know. I feel like everybody's a lot more gossipy in the U.S. where, like, you know, Japan might not be like, let me tell me.
I feel like Japan is super gossipy too. It's all about like public perception.
But I feel like when you're young, you're like, tell me about your fucking family or parents' life and like what they do. I don't know.
I feel like Japan is equally as gossipy.
But so yeah, so apparently her father's like a government official. You know, it's all gossip. So they're not really sure if it's true or not.
Yeah, we never see the father. All we know is that he's like kind of scary, I guess. But
I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of really weird. So what's it called? Yeah. Also, it cuts to Haruko trying to blow up the iron, and not eyebrow shows up and like shoots it and just said like, yeah, you ain't.
He's basically like, stop trying to like cause more. Like you
stop using destruction to cause like more destruction.
Yeah, and clearly what you've done has not worked. So just like, please stop.
Yes.
And then he throws a little shark gun at her feet and leaves because he's like, fuck it, I don't give a shit anymore.
So yeah, and then we because he said that apparently not even nukes can destroy it or put a dent in it. So that's when we cut back to Kana walking down the road, and we see the black car come up there, and a woman in a kimono that says that she's Pet's mother, and she hasn't seen her. So she basically like brings her back to her family home, and yeah, that's when we get like a scary moment with her mom.
It's like the meme from Metal Gear Solid 2 where it's like she has literally just like a bed and a desk. Like she has like nothing, no personal things in her bedroom.
Yes,
and it's like weird.
Yeah, so her father is like horrifying because, you know, when Pets never invited anybody, and like the only decoration they have is like her and Kana together.
Yeah, it's a photo that Kana's mom took.
Because, you know, I can relate to this, that she hates pictures, and I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that.
Yep. The character around Pets was very interesting. Like, everyone talking about her, I found that kind of intriguing, because this is a character that we know almost nothing about. So it was almost like building the intrigue.
And yeah, because we've seen her take pictures with her phone, but I guess she like lied the entire time of like not really liking pictures, but she only had pictures of her and her friends. Remember, she always takes selfies with her phones and everything.
Yeah.
So I guess she lied about all that.
Or just badly written.
But
also, yeah, as you said, her mom kind of attacks Kana, and Kana runs away because she's like, "You would know where my daughter is, right?
You're her friend." And then, yeah, she turns into fucking like, yandere about to murder her, and then she runs away.
Yeah.
Because the big murder energy coming from her was like.
So then
but she also runs away and like twists her ankle.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But not her thing. Doesn't matter.
Then we cut to the community center that was destroyed by the pin, and what's her face is there. Pets is there.
Yes.
And she's kind of like reminiscing. So like she looks at a college application that Kana didn't fill out, and she's like, she didn't do this, and then all this other stuff, and then she kicks or she finds a piece of the actual mech, like the mouth mech from episode 1. And it does the thing that happens in episode 6 of Fully Cooley, where it becomes like a little creature that eats other things, and it gets really big.
Yeah.
And it becomes a big hand mech, which had a decent design. I liked that it had like little stubby legs.
Better than 2.
Yeah. The mech designs were generally better in this one, I thought. But then, so yeah, the final sequence is basically like the government's on high alert. This giant hand is heading towards the Medical Mechanica factory. It's going to engage. I forget the word. They use all these words. Terminal core, what's his face? The eyebrows guy says, "Oh, it's the terminal core. We need to destroy it." And then
yeah, whatever that means.
does Haruko
picks up Kana when she's like lying on the road, and then we're gonna go to that thing, and then they do, and then she like launches her at Pets, and she tries to get her out, and this is like
the most interesting part.
But Haru's fighting the robot in typical fully clear, I'm gonna hit you with a guitar fashion
while I fly around
in
the sky.
Basically Kana gets shit on. He's like, you should have been honest with me. And she's like, I fucking hate you. You suck. You always try to butt into everybody's business.
Yeah.
You like the boy that I like and didn't fucking go for it.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
She's like, you just tossed him away. But I thought this was like the most interesting thing in the show. Like the main character being shit on for doing things that like you would expect a main character to do.
Yeah.
Like, and it's interesting too because Pet's whole thing was like, why do you keep butting into things? Like you keep doing it because you think you're helping people, but actually you're just doing it to like satisfy your own ego essentially. And that's kind of true. Like it's kind of true. I'd also say like in the times that we saw Kana act, she was being like concerned about her friends. So
yeah,
she like Pets is kind of wrong here, but from Pet's perspective, it's interesting. And Pet's like basically just shits on her and just says very mean things to her.
She's annoying. She's like you suck. Why am I friends with you?
Oh, she even says like, I wish that I had. Oh, she doesn't say it exactly, but she's like, I wish I'd never said hi to you. And like the first time I met you, essentially,
it's fucked, man. It's fucked.
I hope you like that ending for Pets because that's the last we see of her.
And then we see one little figure at the very very end.
But
yeah, she basically like the fight shit in the fight happens where like she falls. Basically, they both fall off the robot, but Kana goes into her forehead powers and sucks in the robot. But also then we see another a flashback of a continuation of the flashback from the beginning of her and Pets about like getting the nicknames and everything. And
yeah, so it kind of like resumes into a dream. What we learn is a dream sequence of all the girls on the beach.
Yes,
and Kana is like, oh, the beach, and then they kind of make fun of her, and they have this like lengthy scene where what's her face, Pets actually apologizes to Kana.
Jim's like, you do not deserve to be apologized, but don't worry, it was just a fucking hallucination.
Yeah, it shows Kana like crying and smiling as she's sleeping. She's like, yes, my ideal world. And then Pets fucks off.
She like
that's it.
She does okay. So she does the thing where she like they trade hair clips essentially.
Oh yeah, she does take her hair
this
clips.
is like the end of Naruto versus Sasuke the first time, where like Sasuke like leaving the village permanently and just leaves his headband with Naruto. It's cut. It's literally the new age of Naruto versus Sasuke.
But this time with lesbians.
This time with lesbians, yeah, and and she fucks off, and
Haruko talks to her, and she's like, "Are you really sure you want to go?" And she doesn't say anything. I think she just leaves.
Yeah, she just fucking leaves, and then with the hair clips change, and
so yeah, really sets up like we're gonna get like kind of maybe a redemption arc in the next episode for
maybe they'll do it together, or like the end. I was like, oh, it's gonna end with like them actually being in love with each other. That's gonna be the ending of it. But nope. So, yeah, trivia. This is the last episode we see Pets in.
It's true. It's fucking true. So yeah, and so a lot of little cliffhangers. We're not sure about how the last episode's going to be. All the main characters have really gotten like an episode of focus, you could say.
But don't worry, those other two characters are not important either.
Yeah. So Sam, how does episode 6 begin then?
Well, first off, called Full Flat.
Full fart.
Full fart.
Did you know that full fart actually in like Swedish means like it means like full speed? So there's just like Lego kits that say full fart on it. It's really funny.
Epic.
It makes me laugh so hard.
So this starts out, and one of our JOSKA-SKA favorite of a flash forward of Haruko fighting not Kantis.
It's not even a flash forward. It's literally
this
is just like in medias res.
No, flash. It's but we
flash back. We just jump forward in time.
We jump way forward, but then it goes back to like 7 hours early, which is like basically the day after, the morning of the after the Kana Pets thing, because it's like her being depressed in bed.
But I thought that was just like a thing that was just like, oh, Haruka's just fighting Kantis now.
No, because it's 7 hours earlier before that, and that's when it leads up to the Kantis randomly appearing in like eventually in the timeline.
All right, whatever. I don't care enough to argue this.
So yeah, it's just like really dumb. There's just more Kantis.
It's very, and they're black. They're like well, they're not black. They're like dark purplish.
Yes,
I think.
But yeah, so we have to see. So it kind of comes back. We see like Kana in depression. The Mars stuff has happened. So it's just like basically everybody left here is kind of like fighting. But it has flashbacks, of course. Kana's depressed. She goes like on a walk. Basically a depression walk to her job where she works. At Dennis. I keep forgetting his name, but fucking Dennis every time I see it. And yeah, and she has a little talk with
Who's Dennis? Wait, what?
Dennis is Steve Bloom.
Oh, is his name Dennis Yoga?
Something like that. But she talks with the not eyebrows, and basically says like, oh, I wanted to have the cold stove because something different because it's so hot out and everything. But like I want everything to stay the same. I don't want anything to change, and like it's really kind of a sad thing where like she just wants everything to be how it used to be.
Yeah, which is funny because it kind of like mirrors the first episode of the original Fully Cooley, where Naoto's whole thing was like everything's so boring, nothing changes, I hate it. Where her thing is like nothing changes, I love it. Like give me a world where nothing changes because change is bad.
Yeah, and it's just
so there's just like there's like a giant black CG hand that comes down and grabs
starts moving it.
Yeah, well not wait. Does
it eventually starts moving.
It eventually does, but it like a hand comes down and then there's like a timer. There's like I think it's like 36 hours or something before they'll activate and they'll start the squishing.
Yeah.
The rumbling, if you will.
The rumblings, yes, the ironing.
The ironing.
Also we have a Haruko talks with the eyebrows as well next to like a beer machine. Haruko talks about she looks 19 years old forever.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But yeah, basically he's gonna keep fighting as well. And what's it called?
So yeah, another thing too. I think this is this.
Well, she meets up with her friends.
He calls the prime minister, and the prime minister is basically like, oh yeah, I'm going to Mars.
I can't wait to tour. Where's my coworkers? And he just like throws the phone away. Like
yeah.
But and then we also have her meeting up with her other friends that are not important. They're just there, and they go to the beach. They watch the rockets. They basically I think their way to say goodbye to pets, essentially.
Yeah.
And
it's very much like the world is ending. Like people are acknowledging that the world is ending. Bad things are about to happen. Even like normal people know this. It's not just like the secret government undercover whatever shit.
Yeah, but Kana's like really depressed and like not really like.
She's sad that her girlfriend ran away from her.
Yeah, her friend fucked off. So yeah,
I don't even want to call them a lesbian. Like I don't want to call their relationship like a
they never built anything upon it other than you kind of established that they're a longtime friends, and so you're like, okay, we skipped all that, so we can just have like them maybe like interact with each other, supporting each other. But no, it's just gonna have conflict out of nowhere.
Unfortunately, you can just read this relationship as completely platonic. Like this is just like a friendship that they have like a very deep friendship.
Yeah,
there's nothing romantic implied whatsoever about this, except like she says the L word, but that's not even like
I can see a lot of the show.
That's not even like necessarily like a romantic thing.
I can see a lot of the show kind of being like kind of like showing off like when you graduate and just like everybody, no matter how close your friend group, everybody can just go have their goals and go their separate ways and like. And, maybe just won't talk to you ever again. Like, that's what Pets was. The childhood friend just, like, kind of fucks off, though, from after, you don't know where they go afterwards, really.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have the one that's going to fashion school, so you don't know what that, but, you don't know what that brings. You have our main character who, like, probably not going to go to college.
She's probably going to be working at that soba shop forever.
Yeah. So.
But I actually stopped taking notes after this point, because it just kind of became, like, a big action.
Haruko kidnaps her. Everybody's like, you're gonna blow it up, or you're gonna suck it into your head.
Yeah, because that was a thing in the last episode. Her big mind brain is so powerful that she could absorb a mech in 1 second.
So yeah, that's the plan.
So Haruko and what's his face, not eyebrows, are like, oh yeah, this is our way.
His name is Kanda.
Kanda?
Yeah.
I think you mean Naota.
No, it's not.
Not Naota.
We did see Naota once.
We did see a frame of Naota. But his plan is to use her big brain to absorb the mechs, I guess.
Sure. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to fight these Kanti robots. You make an epic speech about your feelings. And yeah, so she makes an epic speech about, exactly what you expect to hear. Is basically doing her noir monologue out loud. What's it called? And then, while action's happening, the Kira slide is a thing in this.
Yeah, they kind of do it twice, actually.
They do.
They only do it properly once, but she does slide like twice in her moped.
Yes. So and then she goes Super Saiyan God. She becomes like she looks like Kill la Kill. Like
she does look like Ryoko when she goes in her like whatever
cosmic
form.
power cosmic form. I don't
yeah,
know.
her red hair, her hair starts glowing red and like it looks kind of like a fire. And yeah, she's just screaming about how like she loves everyone.
She was lonely growing up because she was ill at a hospital growing up, and
seems like her biggest thing is that she always wanted people to like her.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why the stuff that Pet said cut so deep. But she says,
and it's her probably growing up like in the hospital alone probably has something to do with her like not knowing how to get people to like her, or like
yeah, it's just like Homura from Madoka,
but less bloodthirsty.
Well, Homura's not bloodthirsty. She just does what needs to be done.
Shut up.
So, well, yeah, whatever. So the other thing here too is that she keeps saying like I love everyone, and she's embarrassed, and then Haruko's like, you're 17, spill your guts or whatever, and she says I love you, pets. And I think that's what causes her big. She basically makes like a black hole so big that it changes the world.
It is labeled as a giant space-time rift.
So here's I have kind of a fan theory. Don't say what the wiki says until I've given my fan theory. But so what happens is there's a big time rift, and then things kind of get fucky. Not Eyebrows says. He's like, this is more power than we've ever seen. This could break the space-time continuum or whatever.
It's literally the Billy and Mandy scene where Mandy smiling breaks this reality.
The natural order!
You foos.
But so he... That's
when we see pictures of Fully Cooley original on Haruko and her Vespa for some reason.
Yeah, Haruko's like absorbed into the black hole. Everyone else is like destroyed.
So yeah, we see a blue planet as well.
Yeah, there's a blue planet, and then it does like almost beat for beat
everything's
the first scene from the first episode where she's like talking about her life.
It also just seems like the whole world just like white blank slated, like it was just a blank new planet.
So here's my fan theory. So and it ends like this. Like it ends, everything's the same except Pets is not there. That is the one change.
Yes.
Like and the world is like also the world still looks like how it looked at the very end. Like there's some stuff that's destroyed. All the shops are closed. Like we see one shop with the soba guy. Oh my god, I can't talk. The soba guy is the only place that's still open on that street. Yeah, and then we see that shot again, and he's still the only place open. Yeah, so presumably this is like right after the events of this episode.
Yeah, because we see Haru. We see like every character essentially. Yeah, like I said, minus Pets. So yeah.
Wait, we don't see Haru. Haru doesn't show up after this.
No, we see her working on her Vespa.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she's like working on her Vespa. I'm pretty sure.
Well, because isn't the whole point that she's like gone? Isn't she like
no one's ever really gone?
She's
Jim.
like ripped out of that reality.
No one's ever really gone. That's why I heard the new animation style is different.
Well, here's my theory. I think that for some reason Kana was able to like recreate the world again because she didn't want things to change. So she was able to like recreate because she had this crazy Gattaca power and recreated the world just like slightly different. That's why everyone is there, and there's like another like pale blue, which I presumably is like the flat version of the old world.
Mm-hmm. But the wiki basically just doesn't try to describe it. It just talks about our monologue about like times changing and like accepting change and everything that comes around there. Nothing really like detail about the ending, I guess.
I think it's a bad ending because it's like a total regression for her character.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, what you were saying is like, what is the future of these characters? Like one friend moves away, another friend goes to fashion school, whatever. She is like literally preventing that from happening with her ending.
Okay. So in the trivia, someone said, "Oh, it represents the Evangelion Die Buster." I'm like, okay, it's like everything. But so a fan theory surrounding Jason DeMarco's claim that this season's a prequel to Fully Cooley is that the brief images appearing with Haruko and her Vespa in the naked focal point is actually a sped up view of her experiencing her time with Naota. The theory is that this is a prequel instead of a sequel series.
That's kind of stupid.
It is a little bit.
It doesn't really like add or subtract anything.
But like, yeah, I don't want to think too hard like about this fucking ending. I was just really head scratching. I'm like, this is how you're ending it. Like, This is like not a very unsatisfying ending to everything. Like,
yeah, it was extremely unsatisfying. It really just feels like she just backslided the whole time. Like, I guess you could say her monologue is about change and stuff, but what did she really do? Like, she just kind of resets everything. If we're to believe that, like, even if it's not this, like, she created a new world, like, everything is back to normal.
Yeah, everything.
Like, she's just back to square one.
Create a new world. Everything looks exactly the same, pretty much. And like
the only thing is Pets is not there.
Yeah. Like,
maybe she went back in time and made sure Pets didn't get born. She strangled Pets in the cradle.
Made her family poor, so she never actually interacted with her. Like, it was weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of flopped the ending, but I was like, they're gonna have the standard, like, fully coolly have this ending of crazy shit happening because you got to do that instead of having like. And like I said, I could picture this going if it wasn't fully coolly, like an ending of similar, like her going away. I think even with like the slight surrealism of this, like, oh yeah, we're going to Mars because the planet's dying and everything like that. Like, I didn't want to tell you, but like, you know, it can still do all this stuff. It didn't have to have the fully coolly stuff in it.
So it also does show. It looks like we do see people living on Mars for like one shot too. We see like we see like a Martian bubble city. But yeah, I'm just looking at I'm looking at like some of the fan theories now. I'm just curious.
I mean, so I wonder if it's like a mindset. I was trying to make like a non-conclusive ending, so people talking, because that's there's money and people like making fan theories about it. But I'm like, I don't feel like this. I don't feel like it's a good one to do. It's not a good version of that. Especially when you only have a 6-episode series, it's like hard to do that.
Yeah,
because like
they hardly mention Adamisk at all.
Oh yeah, the Haru. I said Haru is a non-factor. Like, her whole motives are like not in this like at all. Cause like, this is a prequel, and like her just like not really being into it. Like, I guess that can add up, but still, no, that's smart. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, but. Yeah, I kind of very whatever about that ending. You still reading theories?
Yeah, I'm just reading some stuff.
Anything good?
It's very hard to take anything without a grain of salt because people use the word apparently, and apparently uses a lot of does a lot of heavy lifting.
I mean, it's called a fan theory, but anything actually like notable, even within apparently.
Apparently the license plate that Haru has is different in every single series.
Okay, that's trivia, and that's not a fan theory.
That is kind of trivia, but there's like fan theories part of it. I don't know. Some people think that, like what I kind of said, like she makes like an alternate world for every human, teleports all the humans onto that alternate world to avoid being killed, and then Pets and everyone else just go to Mars as planned.
That is some Gattaca shit.
Gattaca. It is kind of Gattaca. She has like an incredible amount of power, like Madoka.
Yeah, but overall, I liked a decent amount of this show, but like fully cool stuff kind of got in the way of a lot of it. Yeah,
I did like some of the stuff in this show. I like some of the characters. I like the character designs, but overall, I think I agree with you. The fully cool stuff sucks. It's just bad. These sequels should never have happened.
No,
there was no reason for them to be created.
Just Cartoon Network or Adult Swim trying to cash in on nostalgia.
Yeah, and presumably continuing to until the end of time.
And forever and ever.
It's just something so insulting to me that like they had to make it 2 series. It was like, all right, we want to make sure that there's more new stuff than old stuff of Fully Cooley. We want to make sure that the amount of Fully Cooley that is original is completely like insignificant and small compared to this new wave of Fully content that we're getting.
Well, the next one having its own unique art style, maybe it could just be that one scene where like we're doing this new change up art style look.
Yeah, we've literally only seen like a tiny teaser, so we have no idea.
But like we don't even have to rank these because we all know it's probably 1, 3, 2 is the order of like the best.
Yeah, there's by no means like any
large gap
any ambiguity in this ranking.
But I guess overall, Jim, what's your overall feelings about Fully Cooley?
I mean, the original's really good.
Yeah, original's very good.
And it's like this really like personal and like funny. And it's got this
a coming of age story.
It's got this like really good sense of humor and identity that the new series and like the new anime industry, I would say in general, lacks. There's like a big issue with identity, I think, in a lot of anime.
Yeah.
Where like Fully Cooley was made by this pretty rambunctious studio, the original one, that had a really strong like history in otaku and the creation of otaku lifestyle and like the otaku like cult subculture, and it was like a response to that, but it was also like forward thinking, and it was doing new things that hadn't been done, even though it was full of references. All of this stuff just feels like, I would say progressive is the worst because it just feels like a modern anime.
Is they trying to
rehash?
Trying to rehash the stuff from it.
At least the alternative does have the benefit of kind of adding its own sort of character dynamic. It's not like they just copy and pasted all the characters from the original.
It's not trying to do the romance, like, puberty thing of, like, of that stuff. Where it's just trying to be more of, like, friends and, like, loving your friend group, but, like, at a tough point in time when you all can just spread apart.
Yeah.
By saying you would stay in touch.
And, like, dealing with big personalities, how, like...
Yep.
Like, the Mo-chan's whole thing about wanting to do everything herself. The model girl's whole thing where it's, like... That's kind of a real thing when your friend is dating someone that you know is not good for them.
Yeah.
But, like, what do you do? Like, it's... You can't, like, impose yourself into that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should. Maybe you should, but it's hard.
It's a can of worms because like that can set off your friend because like I love them though.
Yeah, it's like no, but look how awful they are.
They're like they're like in college, but they had the Romeo and Juliet law in their pocket ready to go when you try to say shit about it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think I agree the same thing like that. Like I'm glad my curiosity was there. And then I'm gladly was just ripped apart after seeing Progressive.
Yeah, Progressive was like a big shit. That was a big dump.
But at least Alternative was different.
Yeah,
but like I said, Haru is I get so annoyed seeing Haru nonstop and just having her ham-fist it into so much of it.
I don't think I would hate Haru as much as I do if it wasn't for the sequels. I would still hate Haru in the fact that she's like a horrible person and does terrible things.
She's just like an ally, even though she's just like antagonist. Like the whole episode, she's like creeping on the one guy, on Sasaki, and then like she just like, hey, we're friends now, all watching and rooting for you now. I'm just like, fuck you. Yeah. She does it in three different series.
Presumably,
one to be manipulative. One to be like grooming, manipulative in the first one. Second one, just to make the girl have her earphones like dig into her brain more. And then, like, this one just to get her head to go. Yeah. And it's just like, and they just shoved her, especially this one, just shoved her in when they needed, when like the reminder popped up saying, must insert Haruko now, and then just had to. Yeah,
the supervisor was walking by and they're like, shit, draw Haruko on this page.
And then, like, yeah, and then they just had, at least like Alternative was like very light, was like, remember this from Fully Cooley compared like the Progressive? Like Progressive was just so bad with that.
They were both pretty bad with it, I would say.
Remember getting hit by a vehicle and making things appear on your forehead?
Yeah, it was bad. I just want to watch the original again, honestly.
Yeah, makes you want to do that. That was the point.
That one was good. The new ones aren't very good.
But
and I don't want to ever watch them again.
I don't know. What should we do with this DVD now? This Blu-ray?
I don't know. I don't care. Break it. Throw it away. Donate it to charity.
Donate it. Just like put like when people try to get rid of like their furniture or baby stuff they don't need anymore, they have like a free sign in front of it and see if anybody actually takes it. Or just go like can't go to a red box and just put it in there. Put it on the red box.
I'm sure somebody would take it.
Take it off our hands.
I really like the idea of somebody like looting this copy and of Fully Cooley.
I'll bring it to next convention. I'll bring it and just like leave it out in the open. And see
That's a good idea.
Just see if anybody wants to take it.
I'll
put a free sign on there, just like see if anybody was actually just take it.
We'll sign it. I'll sign one disc. You sign the other disc.
Even worse, even less.
All right.
You can enter the raffle in the comment below to win the autographed copy of
No.
But other than that, any other things you want to say about any of the Fully Coolies?
I just want to end it. Kill it.
End it. Pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger. Pull the fucking shark gun trigger.
Remember that scene in Fully Cooley 1 where the revolver keeps clicking?
Wait. Oh yeah.
Just do that. We're gonna plug it up though.
All right. Plug it up.
Thank you all for listening to JOSKA-SKA-SKA. It's been an interesting ride. Finally watching something that we mostly disliked throughout. I think probably more bitch about this one than most series. Until we get to the fucking end of Joe Tag on Titan, I'm assuming. But thank you all again for hanging in there. Definitely put some comments, put some subscriptions in there if you haven't already. Likes if you will. You can follow the podcast on Twitter or me and Jim separately. You can also join our Discord. And with that, I guess Jim, you're gonna be the next pick.
Yeah.
I put us through 18 long episodes. So
18.
6 episodes each.
Oh wow, it was 18 episodes. Huh.
Yeah.
It felt like it was shorter.
First series goes by quick.
Oh, because I was thinking of how we bunched them in 2 for these recordings. So I was like, wait, no, we only did 9. Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I mean, you can do I did a poll for this, so you could do a poll if you have any ideas for this. Let's see if we go right into something like.
I don't know. I need to think about it. I don't have anything in mind.
We're gonna watch the Berserk OVA from the 90s.
90s? Is it 90s?
Wasn't the Berserk animated one?
There was an anime in the 90s. It was a series, though. It wasn't
the Berserker one.
That was a series.
Okay, that was
just a series. The OVAs are the CG remakes.
We'll watch them all.
No, I don't want to watch those. I just want to read Berserk.
I know. But yeah, so Jim gonna be brainstorming, I guess, for that. Unless
I would like to watch something good that I would like.
Every other series we're waiting on. We literally have to wait on.
It's true. So,
until then, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining the JOSKA-SKA-SKA adventure. It's been a long one. I can't believe that name. You picked that name out of the stupid one. It was better than the other one. I literally had one before that. And I was going to do one every episode until you oh, that one's actually good. No, you hit solid gold on second strike. Good. So, all right. We'll see you. I guess this series we'll see you next time when we get to grunge or shoegaze. In like 4 years. We can only hope. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.